Welcome to Mid-South Viewpoint. I'm Byron Tyler. Today we are live on this beautiful afternoon. Sunshine after the last couple of days of rain. Temperatures are just right. Beautiful sunshine. Perfect day to stop by Muddy's Bake Shop, where we're broadcasting live right now this afternoon. And you've heard about Muddy's, haven't you? Oh, you haven't? Well, listen, you're missing a treat, and I mean a real treat. Folks have been lining up here for the last hour since we've been setting up our broadcast equipment for this remote this afternoon, and they keep saying Prozac, and I know that they look like they're normal, so I think it must be something to do with the food here. We're going to find out about what is the delicious baked goods that are waiting for you here at Muddy's Bake Shop, and we've got Sarah. And Sarah, first of all, is going to join us, and we're going to move into some other topic of our conversation. But Sarah, thanks so much for bringing us into Muddy's today.
Oh, thanks for being here. We're so excited to have y'all.
Okay, now, we're located here at 114 Sanderland, and it's a little confusing because really we're not actually on Sanderland, but we're in between White Station and Mendenhall on Sanderland, kind of across from the Doubletree Hotel. Give us some input there.
As to where we're right by the Paradiso. That's where most people look for us. Right by Napa Cafe and Bikram Yoga. So kind of that little shopping center across from Doubletree.
And what's the history of Muddy's?
Muddy's opened in February of 2008. We're actually a leap year baby, so we're only about a year and some odd years old. We've had one birthday. Its name, Muddy, actually comes from the owner's grandmother. Kat Gordon's our owner, and her grandmother, they called her Muddy. And she said her mom had always said that on their kitchen counter, there was always a cake or some baked good to be taken to people who needed a pick-me-up or something, bad had happened or whatnot. And so she wanted that to be kind of the spirit of the store is, hey, come here and have your day made better, not just have a great baked good, but be part of a community. So we started, and I was not here at the very beginning, but I think it was a lot more successful than they were anticipating, which was fantastic. And we've just been expanding kind of since then. I mean, of
course, you're closed on Sundays, but Monday through Friday, 11 to 9 p.m. rather, and then on Saturdays, or Friday and Saturday, 11 to 11.
Right, yeah, we're open till 11 on Friday.
So Monday through Thursday, 11 to 9.
Right.
And then 11 to 11 on Friday and Saturday.
That is correct.
Fantastic. And let's talk about the baked goods. I mean, you guys make everything fresh here. I mean, things aren't made in some, kitchen in another state and shipped over here and put in the counter. I mean, this is fresh baked stuff we're talking about.
Absolutely. Yeah, the farthest it could come from is Broad Avenue, where we have our other bakery.
Okay, and so when we walk in, what's the experience? What do you want customers to experience when they walk into Muddy's?
I don't think people will be surprised who are regulars here to know how much customer service is stressed. I think we make a great product. I came in here literally 4 times a week before I worked here, so I'm not biased, really. But I think just saying we want people to walk out feeling happier than they did when they came in. We want to be a strong part of the community as well because we love the city we're based in. It's to provide a quality product every time, but also to do it in a way that people go, wow, this is not how people do this anymore. Wow. To really be community-oriented.
And when you talk about being community-oriented, I know that's something that you're involved with because that's pretty much your title here.
Yes, that is my title.
And you guys really do believe in the community. You want to give back. You want to connect with the community. And what are some ways that you do that, Sarah?
We have always had our, let me see if I can get this right, ROC WPC jar. It's the Refill Our Community with Positive Change. It's our tip jar. It goes to a different nonprofit in Memphis every month. We take nominations from our staff, from the community, whoever wants to nominate, and our staff votes on it. So that's totally staff-based. Also, we're super excited. In the past year, we've just started our community program where you can be paid to volunteer. If you're a full-time employee, you get an hour and a half of paid volunteering time a week. We have partnered with Streets Ministries near Kingsbury High School, MIFA's Meals on Wheels program, and also Grow Memphis Urban Gardens. So basically, I schedule you, your manager and I schedule you for those hours. You don't have to figure out how it's going to work with your schedule. We pay you for those hours to be part of.
That is, what a wonderful idea. If more businesses, local businesses especially, would, connect with that. I mean, are you seeing that, kind of wave happening with other businesses too?
We are seeing people look at that idea and go, hey, and say what you're saying. Like if other businesses did this, I know one of our long-term goals before we even came up with this community program was that in the next 3 to 5 years, other businesses would adopt the tip jar program where you do a nonprofit instead of taking the tips. We're seeing a lot of interest in it. We've had Channel 5 came out wanting to do a story on it when they heard about it. And I'm just seeing a lot more requests come to me that are based on like volunteers and being involved in our community, and not just, hey, can we get a donation for this? Can we get a donation for that? There's a lot more. We want you involved with our project.
Yeah. And how are the employees, you're taking away from some of their little tips, so how are they responding and acting to that?
I think it's such an ingrained part of what we do. Like I think that's happened since day one. And so we get to vote every staff meeting, and even before I did this, I never got the sense that people thought, oh man, we should be getting those. Like, it was exciting to be able to, and we have the input, so it wasn't like, oh, we get told where it's coming from.
Yeah.
Like,
there's no surprises. I mean, when you hire on, in the beginning, that's something you guys do.
Yeah. The culture is very stated, I think, in the interview process.
Well, when we talk about connecting with community, talk about, connecting with nonprofits, you mentioned several of them. I know the month of May, you have picked a very special nonprofit near and dear to my heart. It's a Be Free Revolution. I met Lacey and Brittany back last year, and they are the co-founders of this work. And Lacey joins us right now. Lacey, good afternoon and welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us.
And it's so good to have you. We're going to have Brittany on, too. Matter of fact, we might switch chairs. We're actually live here on the program today. And so as we bring this broadcast to you on Bot Radio AM 640 and FM 100.7, there's going to be maybe some background noise you might hear, and some people yell out Prozac here and there. But again, that's some of the delicious cupcakes and cookies that folks are wanting to order here at Muddy's Bake Shop. But ladies, I have been wanting to get with you for a long time and talk about Be Free Revolution, and never expected that we would do it at a bakery, Muddy's Bake Shop, here today. But what really excited me was I do the Twitter thing, okay, the social media Twitter. And I was looking on Twitter. I do follow Muddy's. I follow a lot of the Memphis establishments because I just like to be connected and see what's going on. And I saw where the month of May that the tip jar that Sarah made reference to a moment ago, all of those tips were going to be going to Be Free Revolution. And I saw, wow, I got an idea. If it can work out, it'd be great. So we just kind of put this together in the last few days, and here we are today. And I really wanted to highlight what you guys do. And first of all, before we go, Brittany, why don't you tell us about your friendship with Lacey? Lacey, how long have you guys known each other? And just talk about your friendship.
Yeah, so I met Lacey. I've known her just through some mutual friends. And then she joined a trip that I was leading back in 2011 to Kenya. And so she came on the trip, and her and I just kind of connected a little bit on the trip. And then really felt very burdened for the women that we met there and the kids that we were working with, and came back and just leaned on each other, and our friendship really sprouted from there, and kind of started with Be Free and then progressed from where we are now.
Lacey, tell me about that burden that Brittany just mentioned when she talked about these ladies and the hardships that you saw. This trip that she's referring to was a trip I believe you took to Africa. Talk about that and what you experienced and what you saw.
Wow, it's really hard to put into words what we saw on that trip. That was my very first trip to Africa, and so I was already overwhelmed at the intensity of the poverty there. And I think for the first couple of days, I was just in shock that people were living this way, but also that the kids are so positive and so loving and so full of faith in God. And I feel like they taught me more about faith in one day than I've learned in my entire life. And to see some of these kids struggling with abuse and not being able to define the word love, but have them still loving, moved me. And I just knew when I left there that I would never be the same, and I couldn't just leave it behind, and that God was calling me in the trenches of that place to just do whatever I could do.
Okay, the name Be Free Revolution, what does it mean to you girls? What does it mean?
Well, when we started thinking about the name Be Free, we actually looked at a lot of inspiration, but we found ourselves in the book of Matthew, and we were reading about how when God said, do you not, the birds depend on me for food and for everything. Are you not more valuable than the birds in the sky? And then I started thinking, we thought about the people there and that they're wanting to be free of something, and how God values us, more than the birds in the sky and all these different things. And so anyway, freedom came, and be free, and it just, came about. I don't know. It's kind of random.
How about for you? What does it mean for you, Brittany?
Oh, gosh, it means so much. Yes, just for us, it symbolizes an opportunity to go and serve these people in Kenya and Uganda, but also serve here locally. And we believe strongly in going and serving and leading and loving. And we just, that's what it means to us, is just...
So when you took this trip to Africa, you both were kind of thinking, okay, we're gonna do this week, 2 week. I don't know how many days it was, 10 days or however long the trip was. That your idea was, I'm going to take this trip, and then I'm going to come back and continue my life, and do other involvements and things that I do. I mean, you had no idea that this was going to happen. Be Free Revolution.
No, we had no idea. I think that when we refer to it as our Kenya coma when we came home, because we couldn't do anything but lean on each other during that time, and we were sort of in depression because we were burdened, we were moved, we didn't know what to do, so the only thing we could figure out to do was to get back. And so Be Free started as a fundraiser. And so it was a fundraiser, then we developed a name for it, and we were selling the jewelry, and we were trying to raise funds. And then people just started picking up on our passion and our desire to want to do something bigger. And so we finally got back over there and just kept getting blessed from there. So
now, when you first came back and you were trying to kind of process all the things you had felt, all the things you had seen, what were some of your initial, steps you felt like this is the direction we want to move? Where did you come up with those ideas?
We definitely knew that we wanted to serve in the communities that we were serving in well, and so we wanted to make sure that we were learning and studying the leaders and what would work best for their communities, rather than just going in and trying to tell them what we thought. We really took a lot of time listening and learning the different things that they needed. So with our Papers of Peace, we knew that they needed to be feeding their kids, and so that's where the Papers of Peace program started.
Okay. And so did you guys just, go and get some advice from somebody else? Did you just kind of, what was the process of, joining other people with you on this project?
Well, I'd been leading mission work for a while and had led several trips over to Kenya and had relationships already with some of our partners over there. And then just through current partners that I had in place, we also were able to extend even further. So I've been doing it for a little while, mission work in general.
And prior to this, what were you doing professionally? Were you in school? Were you, taking care of a home? What were you guys doing prior to going on this trip, but prior to Be Free?
Oh, I worked for a local cheerleading company, and so I worked there. I was a writer and a kind of a content editor for like cheerleading uniforms and things like that. So I was a writer.
And I worked as a teacher for a couple of years, and then I worked for a church for a while as a mission coordinator. Okay.
Now, I know that one of the things that you guys have set up with the precious people in the places where you're working at is to help them to develop some craft and some they already have the skills pretty much, don't they?
Yeah.
So basically, how did you say, okay, I have this idea, you make this jewelry, and I'll take it back and sell it in America, and your life will be a whole lot better?
So in sitting down and learning a little bit about what they needed for their community, we were able to discover some of their gifts, some of their God-given abilities. And a lot of these artisans come up with beautiful work. And so we just sat and worked with them on different colorways and how to put different things together and enhance what they already knew how to do. And then also worked with women to teach other women and other men how to do these things. And so it kind of sparked from something that they already knew how to do, and then we just enhanced it and also gave them kind of a broader picture of how with them working, they could actually then give back. So we were just an avenue for their work, but also their ability to feed these kids twice a day.
And Lacey, how were they responding, to your ideas when you went there and you said, hey, I have something I think could really change your life and change the environment in which you live in?
Oh, they were so excited. And something that Priscilla, who manages the paper jewelry in particular, said is that it gave her such pride because these women work so hard and they want to provide for these children. And one of the biggest needs in Priscilla in particular school was feeding. And so we could immediately feed those kids now twice a day, because before they weren't eating at home and they weren't eating at school because the school couldn't afford to feed them. So now they're immediately able to feed the children through the women's ability to work. So they feel pride, they feel like they have an honest way to make an income, and these children are eating, therefore they're learning. So it was awesome. It's really awesome.
And Brittany, why don't you describe to listeners, some of the hardships. What are some of those that you work with? What are they living? What's their day-to-day like?
Their day-to-day life is very different than what we experience here. One of the slums that we work in is called Kibera Slum. It's one of the largest in the world, and it's about a 1.5 square radius, and they are living, there's almost 2 million people that are living within that one spot. And so they're living in small shacks made from sheet metal and cardboard. And even at like a 10 by 10 is a luxury for them there. And then sometimes they have 5, 6, 7 children and their family living all in one small spot. Like Lacey said, a lot of the kids aren't eating at home, and so the only time that they're able to get food is when they're at school. And so the kids walk a long way to get to school, and it is dangerous. And so we try to work hard with the communities there to funnel positive change within them that they see for their vision for their schools.
Wow. Let's remind our Bot Radio Network listeners today on AM 640 and FM 100.7. We're broadcasting live on this Mid-South Viewpoint program from the famous Muddy's Bake Shop. And, boy, I can just hear people ordering all kinds of delicious goodies here. We've got cupcakes, and they're all decorated very nicely. We've got ones called Pucker Up. We've got Grasshopper, cappuccino. We've got chocolate chip cookies. I mean, we've got oatmeal. We've got all kinds of delicious baked goods. And what we want you to do is to stop by Muddy's Bake Shop now through the end of May, all of your tips, and we want you to load up the tip jar. Just empty out your change, bring those piggy banks, whatever, and bring that and put it in the tip jar. All of those tip donations will be given to Be Free Revolution, who we're highlighting here on today's program with Brittany and Lacey. So take advantage of it and come by Muddy's. Where are we? We're at 114 Sanderland, next to the Doubletree Hotel, between White Station and Mendenhall. There's of course, the Kroger there on Mendenhall. But we're right here in this vicinity. I think Sarah made the good reference point. The Paradiso movie theater, I can see it right now through the window. So it's across the parking lot. That will be on the east side of the Paradiso building. So be sure to come by Muddy's Bake Shop. Closed on Sundays, but Monday through Thursday, 9 a.m. until... no, I'm sorry. Let me back up there. Sarah straightened me out as we speak. 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. Monday through Thursday. And then on Saturday and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. And so there's also some goodies, coffee and other little goodies on the shelves here that you can take advantage of. But as we talk to the ladies, Lacey and Brittany, about Be Free Revolution, we actually have on display here, if you're in the neighborhood and want to stop by and actually see, you can purchase while we're here at Muddy's Bake Shop. They have some of their jewelry that's been handcrafted by the ladies, and I guess men too, where you're working there in Africa. Describe what we're looking at here, ladies.
All the pieces are handmade in Kenya and Uganda, and so our paper's a piece, which is, I guess, one of our most known pieces that we have. We've got bracelets and necklaces, and they're all made from paper, and so they're recycled and rolled paper, so some of the beads are smaller and larger, and then they're...
it blows my mind when you say paper, because when you look at it, it looks like some kind of beautiful stone or, some piece of type of pottery that's been handcrafted, but I mean, we're talking paper that's fashioned in this beautiful... was this your idea, Lacey?
Oh yeah, it was all me. It was just me. I'm brains here.
I mean, were the people there in Africa where you were working, were they already doing things like this?
This is a traditional African trade, and we were just able to come in and work with them a little bit on different colors and how to put different colors together that are appropriate for our seasons and times of year and things. Okay.
Now, do you just kind of go along with what they're already designing? Do you try to, maybe suggest things that they could create, or, how does that go about?
Sometimes we come alongside exactly what they're doing, and maybe we'll give some color enhancements or suggestions and things like that. But we're also, very creative people too. So we try to come up with some unique and cool designs that we can teach them, or we may see someone that is developing a skill set, and so we think, how can we design a product that will be marketable in the U.S. with what their skill set already is? So we'll try to work with them on that and come up with some really new and creative designs, and sometimes we'll come up with new necklace designs and all kinds of things. So it's just kind of one big creative melting pot.
And this has become a full-time venture for both you ladies. I mean, the job that you were doing prior, this is now, it consumes all your time, right?
All our time.
Yeah. And you're pretty regularly scheduled, to flying in and out of Africa. And what places in Africa are you going to?
Yeah, so we go to 3 territories in Kenya, and we go to Kibera, and we also go to Ruai, which is right outside of Nairobi. And then we also work out in the Masa land. And then in Uganda, we are in Tororo out there.
And what's travel like in these countries when you go? I mean, is it really roughing it out there? Or?
Oh, no. It's not like you're taking the, it's not like here, but it's easy. And it's fun because you're all together and it's a team. And so you get to know each other. You become family really fast. And the Kenyans and the Ugandans are like our family. So it's just fun.
Yeah.
So it's just a great time. And the scenery is beautiful.
And I think, Brittany, you and Lacey both have, developed friendships. Of course, you have them here, but you've actually have developed a team of folks who believe in what you're doing, support what you do, and I guess you take on trips with you.
Yes, we take around 4 to 8 teams a year, and most of those, the people that come on trips with us have already been on 1, 2, and 3 trips. People love it. The experience is life-changing. You become family fast, and I think my mission trip friends are just on a whole different level. It's just this whole little mission God family. It's just awesome.
Wow, that's really neat.
Yeah.
Well, I noticed on your website, too, when you're looking at giving back and how that this custom making these items and reselling them, it's not just giving, a sustainable income for these individuals, but there's also some ways that you're able to use some of the proceeds to help in education. Why don't you describe some of those other ways that you guys are able to give back?
Yeah, so we have a counselor that is employed full-time in Kenya, and she is able to go and meet with our BFR kids, which is our sponsorship program, but also meet with kids that are enrolled in the school, because a lot of these kids, especially the kids that are in the orphanage, have issues that they're dealing with, just like kids here, but then they're in extreme poverty and are without parents. And so she's able to work with them and counsel them through a lot of the issues that they're having.
Wow. I guess to see young kids like this, it must break your heart too. But then to know you guys are having an impact on their lives.
Yeah, and it's been really, really cool to see from where we started to where we are now, how much the kids have grown and changed, and how they're smiling, and how just a little encouragement can change their lives, and consistency. And so they know when our teams come that we're going to love on them, we're going to be a safe place for them, and that we're going to encourage them with where they're at in life and try to stretch them and pull out their purpose while we try to heal their wounds at the same time. So it's been really awesome to see our kids kind of grow.
Now, how are these items that we're looking at right now here at Muddy's, how are these on display? I mean, how can people listening to our broadcast, if they wanted to be able to purchase these items, do you have a storefront? Is it all online? What can listeners do?
They can shop online, and we are also in retail stores across the U.S. But some exciting news that we are super excited to let everybody know today is that we are going to be opening up a storefront in Gathering Place in East Memphis, so not too far from here. And we will be having our products, but also other products that give back, available in a storefront.
Well, I'll tell you what, we're going to have to do a live broadcast from there when we have the grand opening, get close to that time.
Yes,
so
absolutely.
and highlight some of these other. We might have to have Sarah bring a plate of cookies over and enjoy some Muddies while we're there for the grand opening. But this is really, really great. But again, that website information, what is that website?
It's BeFreeRevolution.org or .com.
And how do you want people to respond to Be Free? I mean, what are some ways? Obviously, you have the jewelry and things that they can purchase, but what are some other ways that people can connect with you guys?
There are a lot of ways that people can get involved. They can get involved, like you said, through buying the jewelry. You can also get involved by sponsoring a kid through our BFR Kids sponsorship, which is a full circle sponsorship, and it really just gives you a way to invite these kids into your family, kick off to the Rev, which is the new storefront, and we're going to be raising money and raising awareness about everything for the Rev. So that's June 14th at 7 p.m.
June 14th, 7 o'clock. Now, where's it going to take place at?
It's going to take place in the new Crosstown Arts District at a place called America Memphis.
Okay. Now, information will be on the website, I'm assuming, about that event coming up?
Yes. Information and tickets will go on sale next week.
Okay. When do you guys head back to Africa?
We go back to Africa in June.
Okay. And how long will you be there?
We'll be there for a little over 10 days.
Okay. And when you go, basically, you're trying to reestablish relationships. So tell me what some of the things you do when you go back.
So when we go on mission, we take a lot of time in preparation for mission, trying to learn the gifts of the team and preparing them. But we also go alongside a curriculum that builds on each team. So this year we're going to be focusing on trying to pull out some of the kids' purpose and their giftings. We're also going to be implementing an art intensive program that we're very excited about. And so we're offering these kids an opportunity they've never had before to learn art, painting, journalism, and some photography. And so we'll let the kids apply, and then they're going to get in the program, and then it'll extend from July to September.
Wow.
And so that'll be really cool, and then they'll present with each other and get a certificate. So we're really excited about that this year.
You guys, I tell you what, when I first met you, Bob Williamson at High Point Church took us all to lunch together. We sat down at Panera Bread, and just hearing the energy and the excitement that y'all have for Be Free Revolution, you just got me on fire for it. And so thank you for sharing with Bot Radio today on our live broadcast here from Muddy's Bake Shop as we broadcast here on AM 640 and FM 100.7. Sarah, you've been so hospitable. Thank you for everything.
Thank
Now,
you for
didn't
having
you
me.
say we will have a giveaway we want to do? Let's get you close to this microphone right here. We'll get you come up here, Sarah. Get you real close here. Here we go.
Okay, yeah, we have a giveaway for a gift card for 4 cupcakes. If you are not a cupcake fan, we actually have a lot of other stuff. So you could pick a piece of pie or some cookies or something like that.
Okay, I tell you what we'll do. Like, why don't we just say, you want somebody to stop by here? Do you want them to come by the station, call the station? What do you want folks to do to get this?
We could say the first person to stop by here who can mention this program. Or
Hey,
whatever
I like
works for
that.
y'all.
Okay, the first person that stops by. You got to be listening. Now, folks that are already inside, you can't take advantage of it. You have to actually walk inside from hearing on the radio. Once you hear that, you can pick up this nice certificate thanks to Muddy's Bake Shop. Thank you so much, Sarah, for that.
Absolutely. Thanks
All
for
right.
coming.
Just mention that you're listening on Bot Radio today to the program about Be Free Revolution. And go to the website, too. And the website again?
It's BeFreeRevolution.com.
BeFreeRevolution.com. Well, Brittany, Lacey, Sarah, thank you so much for letting us come and share about Be Free, and hope our friends will pray for you guys, support what you do. Go to the website, BeFreeRevolution.com. That's all the time we have on this edition of Mid-South Viewpoint. I'm Byron Tyler. We'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to Mid-South Viewpoint. If you'd like to join the conversation, you can email us. Our address is wcrv@botradionetwork.com. This has been Mid-South Viewpoint, another Christian news and information feature from Bot Radio Network 640 AM.